Christmas Gifts by Laura E. Richards. Read by Dana Rizzo. "Mother," said Jack, "may I have some money to buy Christmas presents with?" "Dear," said his mother, "I have no money. We are very poor, and I can hardly buy food for us all." Jack hung his head. If he had not been 10, the tears would have come to his eyes, but he was 10. "All the other boys give presents," he said. "So shall you," said his mother. "All presents are not bought with money. The best boy that ever lived was as poor as we are, and yet he was always giving." "Who was he?" asked Jack. "And what did he give?" "This is his birthday," said the mother. "He was the good Jesus. He was born in a stable, and he lived in a poor working man's house. He never had a penny of his own, yet he gave 12 good gifts every day. Would you like to try his way?" "Yes!" cried Jack. So his mother told him this and that, and soon after Jack started out, dressed in his best suit, to give his presents. First, he went to Aunt Jane's house. She was old and lame, and she did not like boys. "What do you want?" she asked as she opened the door. "Merry Christmas," said Jack. "May I stay for an hour and help you?" "Humph," said Aunt Jane. "Want to keep you out of mischief, do they? Well, you may bring in some wood." "Shall I split some kindling too?" asked Jack. "If you know how," said Aunt Jane. "I can't have you cutting your foot and messing my clean shed all up." Jack found some fresh pine wood and a bright hatchet, and he split up a great pile of kindling and thought it fun. He stacked it neatly, and then he brought in a pail of water and filled the kettle. "What else can I do?" he asked. "There are 20 minutes more." "Humph," said Aunt Jane. "You might feed the pig." Jack fed the pig, who thanked him in his own way. 10 minutes more," he said. "What shall I do now?" "Humph," said Aunt Jane. "You may sit down and tell me why you came." "It is a Christmas present," said Jack. "I am giving hours for presents. I had 12, but I gave one to Mother, and another one was gone before I knew I had it. This hour was your present." "Humph," said Aunt Jane. She hobbled to the cupboard and took out a small round pie that smelt very good. "Here," she said. "This is your present, and I thank you for mine. Come again, will you?" "Indeed I will," said Jack, "and thank you for the pie." Next, Jack went and read for an hour to old Mr. Green, who was blind. He read a book about the sea, and they both liked it very much, so the hour went quickly. Then it was time to help Mother get dinner, and then time to eat it. That took 2 hours. And Aunt Jane's pie was wonderful. Then Jack took the Smith baby for a ride in its carriage, as Mrs. Smith was ill. And they met its grandfather, who filled Jack's pockets with candy and popcorn and invited him to a Christmas tree that night. Next, Jack went to see Willie Brown, who had been ill for a long time and could not leave his bed. Willie was very glad to see him. They played a game, and then each told the other a story. And before Jack knew it, the clock struck 6. "Oh!" cried Jack. "You have had 2. "2 what?" asked Willie. 2 hours, said Jack. And he told Willie about the presents he was giving. "I am glad I gave you 2, he said. "And I would give you 3, but I must go and help Mother." "Oh, dear," said Willie. "I thank you very much, Jack. I have had a perfectly great time, and it has driven the pain away. But I have nothing to give you." Jack laughed. "Why, don't you see?" he cried. "You have given me just the same thing. I have had a great time too." "Mother," said Jack as he was going to bed, "I have had a splendid Christmas, but I wish I had had something to give you besides the hours." "My darling," said his mother, "you have given me the best gift of all, yourself."
Music by John Watechko. A production of We Are One Body Audio Theater.